Thanks so much for joining us here at 6 a.m., everyone. I'm Eric Connors.
And I'm Nada Iranpour. Glad you're with us here. It's going to be a foggy start to the day if you're around the coast or a little bit inland. Look at this. This is video in South Park. In fact, the clouds are sitting low to the ground. Kind of looks a little spooky, doesn't it? Let's check in with meteorologist Evan Arani this morning to see what's happening with that fog and what we can expect later today.
Another day of it. We had the dense fog advisory in effect yesterday. We have it in effect again today. As we start off the day all the way through 9 a.m., we could be encountering some of those clouds out by the water. It'll help to keep our temperatures close to the coast, a little bit cooler at the low 70s. But inland this afternoon, we could be making it to about 85 degrees. That would be 20 degrees warmer than normal. So here's that coastal eddy development out by the water. Coming up, we'll talk about some cooler temperatures and cloudier skies, even a chance for rain in the forecast in just a bit. Back to you.
Some rain ahead. Okay, Evan, thank you for that. This morning, El Cajon police are investigating after a woman's body was found in the trunk of a car. It started with reports of a possible kidnapping before 5 p.m. yesterday. Police tried to stop the car near Madison and Magnolia, but the driver fled. This led to a pursuit, ending after the suspect crashed into two other cars on Mollison. That's the scene you see here. Police say no one else was injured. They arrested the driver. Police say the woman found dead was 51 years old. They're looking into a possible relationship between the suspect and the victim.
Right now, more than 11,000 UC San Diego health workers from two separate unions are getting ready to go on strike, joining tens of thousands across the state. They're demanding better pay, benefits, and fair labor contract negotiations. CBS 8's Regina Yarita live at the UC San Diego campus now with more on how UC is responding to all this. Regina?
Yeah, good morning, Eric and Netta. And we know that over 7,000 workers will be here at the UCSD campus. We're already starting to see workers here trickling in. You can see their signs. This is for AFSCME, the union who is part of the 3299. Some workers here this morning just trying to pick up some of their signs. But there are two strikes happening, one here at this campus, the other one actually happening at the medical campus in Hillcrest. Now, both strikes will be happening for 2 days. They're striking not only for better pay, but demands also for the UC system to bargain in good faith. We actually talked to one of the workers yesterday night. Here's what they told us.
To be about sending a real clear message to the UC. We're united. We're interested in solving the problem. We need you to be just as interested as we are.
And so workers here allege that UC has an ongoing staffing and retention crisis. The unions also accuse UC of dragging out negotiations and not coming to the bargaining table with serious proposals. Union members are also upset because they say that UC's management have attempted to silence workers as they try to negotiate for a better contract, an allegation that UC has strongly denied. The University of California, on the other hand, denies that it has a staffing crisis, saying that for both unions, headcount is increasing, adding the claims have no truth, and continue to repeat it does not make it true. They also add that, quote, we have continuously reached out to the unions in an attempt to settle these contracts. The unions are talking about UC negotiating, but they need to walk the walk and actually bargain in good faith. So back out here, this is a live image of just some of the workers starting to pick up some of their signs. They should be starting to protest, or at least a strike, in the next 30 minutes to an hour, and we'll have more details on that. Talk to some of the workers here who have strong opinions on some of the negotiations that have been happening with the UC Medical Health. So I'll send it back to you guys for now.
Regina, thanks for the latest there. This morning, Baja California authorities are collaborating with the San Diego County Sheriff's Office to track down the woman accused of killing her wife, Cal Fire Captain Rebecca Marodi. Authorities believe Yolanda Marodi may have fled to Mexico after killing Captain Marodi last week. According to a new arrest warrant, the stabbing death was recorded on a Ring doorbell camera. Yolanda's car, a 2013 Chevy Equinox, was seen crossing the border into Mexico later that same night, according to authorities. Captain Marodi's mother told detectives that a week before the murder, Rebecca had informed her wife she was ending their marriage. Disturbing new details in a wrongful death lawsuit involving a 24-year-old man who died in a San Diego jail last year. Brandon Yates' family says he was tortured, sexually assaulted, then murdered, and they blame the San Diego County Sheriff's Office. Yates was arrested last January on suspicion of burglary. His attorneys claim Yates was placed in a cell with an inmate who should have been separated due to safety concerns. The lawsuit claims Yates pleaded for help for an hour while he was being attacked, pushing a panic button and screaming, but no one responded.
If you were to lose a child in a car accident or cancer, you start to heal immediately, I guess. This is like you have a callus that keeps getting ripped off. It's very, very painful to hear about those details.
The sheriff's office told us they can't comment because it involves pending litigation as well as a separate criminal case.
New video this morning shows the Navy helping with surveillance at the U.S.-Mexico border. The Navy just released this footage of the P-8A Poseidon patrol aircraft. The Department of Defense says U.S. Northern Command is working with the Department of Homeland Security to help Customs and Border Protection. This morning, the Trump administration threatening to punish certain undocumented immigrants if they do not submit their information in a newly launched database. It applies to immigrants over the age of 13 who did not submit fingerprints or register with the federal government. This includes those who were never formally inspected by Border Patrol. Those who don't comply with the new directive could be subject to criminal prosecution, including jail time and fines. Lawful permanent residents do not need to sign up. This morning, TSA is no longer allowing the use of the CBP-1 app for undocumented immigrants to fly. The agency says people who had their identity established through that app previously will only be allowed if the purpose of travel is deportation or if they're being moved between detention facilities. If TSA can't identify someone without an ID, they won't be allowed on an aircraft. Right now, President Trump is planning a gold card path to citizenship for wealthy investors. He says the gold cards would sell for about $5 million each and grant residency in the U.S. The cards would also have the same benefits as a green card. We're told they should be available in the next 2 weeks. The Commerce Secretary says applicants would be vetted and proceeds would go towards lowering the deficit.
Despite approved utility rate increases this morning, SDG&E is reporting it made a $891 million profit last year. That's $45 million less, actually, than the earnings reported in 2023, when the utility reported an all-time high of $936 million, almost $1 billion in profits. This comes after the California Public Utilities Commission voted to approve a rate increase for you for SDG&E last year. Customers will be paying more for electricity and natural gas. SDG&E says the increases will go towards wildfire mitigation, power grid upgrades, energy storage, and pipeline replacements. A San Diego council member wants to give workers in the tourism industry a massive pay boost. Councilman Sean Elo Rivera is proposing a $25 per hour minimum wage for hotel, event center, and janitorial workers starting next year. Right now, the city's minimum wage is $17.25 an hour. Elo Rivera will introduce this tomorrow at the first ever meeting of San Diego's new Select Committee on Addressing Cost of Living. Taking a peek outside here on this Wednesday, going to be another nice day, but we're starting to run short on these warm days.
Yeah, that's the thing. Today and tomorrow are kind of our final days of enjoying this brief taste of what summer has to offer. The reason why I haven't even been saying spring is because temperatures are exceeding average by up to 20 to, in some cases, 25 degrees. So I'd say it's feeling more like June as opposed to the month that we're in, February here. We're wrapping it up, though, and as we do so, we're going to head back to winter. That's because over the course of the weekend into next week, our temperatures slide back down to where they typically would be. That is primarily 60s out there, and we're already starting to see a symptom of that. Cloud cover is increasing out by the coastline. That's allowed for some fog as we start off our Wednesday morning. We had it yesterday, Tuesday morning as well. But by the afternoon, those offshore Santa Ana winds are going to help to push all of that cloud cover off the coast. We'll be left with sunshine county-wide by this afternoon and tomorrow afternoon. But we are watching for impacts right now, mainly down toward downtown San Diego. As those Santa Ana winds stay breezy today, tomorrow, and then die down on Friday, we have almost no chance for rain in the forecast. But Changes are going to arrive by the weekend into early next week. You see those daily opportunities for rain starting to climb all the way through about Monday. Right now, Monday still seems to be the best opportunity for some showers, although we have to keep in mind every day our opportunity for rain is below 50%. So it doesn't really give us any robust opportunity for rain. It doesn't give us any major storm, but it does give us some scattered showers that will likely come about starting on Sunday and lingering through the early portion of next week. Tomorrow's going to be our warmest day at 86 degrees, and then watch as those temperatures slide down by 15 degrees by Friday, another 5 degrees Saturday. We keep cooling into the beginning of next week, and those clouds start to fill the sky as well. Let's take a look at your drive times outside, see how it's faring on your morning commute. Right now, we're looking pretty good on the 5 southbound, 78 westbound, and 52 westbound. You got green across the screen there. Typical speeds to expect. And taking a look at your border wait times as we start off your morning, it's a pretty long one out at the San Ysidro Port of Entry. 100-minute wait, about an hour 40 is what it's going to take you. Otay Mesa Port of Entry should take you about an hour and a half. Should be able to get across about 10 minutes quicker this morning.